I feel that the last 13 years have been a living testimony to the goodness of God. When my 16-year career as director of Kidlington Sport ended dramatically in a 4-minute meeting in 2006, it was the darkest period of my life. The first tentative steps in Verity Sport were taken in 2007, with the first board meeting held 13 years ago last month. It was a journey into the unknown with real questions as to whether it would work and indeed whether the money would be found to make it work. 13 years on, I have proved the goodness of God time and time again. In 2008, I got a media accreditation for the Olympics. At a time, quite honestly, that I didn't really quite know what media accreditation meant. The process and the circumstances which led to that opportunity could fill a vlog on their own. Let's just say it was a little miracle. When I went to the Beijing Olympics, I knew 6 Christians. If the Tokyo Olympics happen next year, I would expect to know 100. In 2009, I started going to athletics events, and 4 years later, I tentatively asked 2 athletes if they would be interested in an athlete Bible study. 7 years on, in the goodness of God, over 160 athletes have attended Bible study. In 2008, I was invited to speak at a conference in Ivory Coast. Now, the reason I was asked was because I could do the teaching in French and could pay my own travel. One of the delegates at that conference told me that he ran a girls' football team in Togo. I was intrigued by that because I knew how underdeveloped girls' football was in Britain, let alone Togo. I asked if I could visit him and finished up going 7 years in a row and became a conduit for people at KBC and beyond who have helped the girls in Togo immensely and regularly. And out of that came an invitation to be part of the Togo Olympic team at 2 Olympics. A chance meeting or the goodness of God? Take your choice. While working with a Christian group in Ukraine, we decided that it would be helpful to the local people to run a football coaching course just to give them the skills that they needed for their ministry. As part of that preparation, I had a meeting with the English Football Association. And as I was leaving the meeting, the person I had been talking to casually said, "We have a warehouse full of new football kit, which we cannot use because it's got the wrong sponsor on it. Would you be able to do anything with that?" 10 years later, 7,000 pieces of football kit have passed through our house on their way to needy parts of the world. Another chance conversation? Or was it perhaps the goodness of God? So much that I've been involved in has been dependent on good relationships with British athletics, the British Olympic Association, World Athletics, and I found amazing favour with all of them, often finding that people I've never spoken to know exactly who I am and what I do. And I've no doubt the source of that favour. You know, the fact that I'm still getting away with it 13 years on, now that really is the goodness of God.